southeast, and you can tell that the sun has risen. It's quite bright. Here you can really see that the sun has already come up. Then suddenly we have this, and then that. Did a bit of a gamma on that, and it's quite anomalous. Thought it was worthy of sharing. We're at Valdez, looking to the southwest. It's 3:15 in the afternoon, Thursday, November 3rd. And we can see this object here. And then we've also got some brightness down there. It's a different color. A little gamma on it. Clearly it's its own object right there. Very yellow, some red down here. I'm going to just run through a few more pictures. You can see this, that round object here clearly is moving, retains its shape, and then gets extremely bright. This is the same airport, Valdez, but this time we're looking to the west. It's 2:15 p.m. And when we run a gamma, these, when I see these stripes, that usually indicates something. And what we have here is another light source in the western sky. And we have a light source down here as well. And we have another red planet on the left, which you could not even see until I ran the gamma. Kind of strange to see that in the western sky, especially when we have other things glowing in the south at the same time. And at the exact same time of day as the last image I showed you, we have this going on in the eastern sky. So we obviously have multiple light sources. I'm more inclined to think that we live in a dual binary, which would mean as many as 4 light sources. I have not really researched it. I've heard that term, but just based on how many different light sources I see when I look at these things, I believe that that could be the case. Or else they are objects that are being highly illuminated by another star. So, don't really know, just sharing my observations and my thoughts. Now this is a new airport. It's ASTOUNDING, looking to the north at 12:20 p.m. And quite strange that we would see in the north this. Down below we see a reddish color as well. Over here, these are probably two objects here, and of course this light source, or one of 4 suns. So we'll see what's at the other locations, but I'll just run through this here a little bit. I mean, look at how fast that thing moves, and it moves to the left. Our sun moves to the right. So this is consistent with the direction of the retrograde solar system that is supposedly in our solar system. It moves in the opposite direction as the objects that we know. So this quick movement to the left would coincide with a retrograde system. You know, and I can pull this gam up here. We probably see that this is something down here. They're obviously trying to block things up here. We see chemtrails, major chemtrails. There's probably even brighter and more interesting objects that we're not seeing. And this is 10:20 a.m. in the north. Look at that. And look at that. I mean, that's crazy. I'm gonna run a gamma on that, just because the lower part of the sky is a completely different color from what's above. Slide this over. It does seem to have a rather striped appearance in the back here. I know that it's been chemtrailed, but it's consistent with either the Nemesis star or some type of brown dwarf. Again, this is our northern sky at 10:30 in the morning. All right, let's see what's going on in the other directions. This is the same airport, but this is the southeast at the same time. And I'll remind you, the last one was the north, and this is what we got going on here in the southeast at the same time as that other light source was lighting up the north. So this looks to me like we've got 1, 2, or maybe even 3 objects there. I see an object down here, and whether or not it's part of this as well, it probably is. It's the same coloration. I can even see some smaller moon type objects here. So quite a bit going on. These things are right at the ecliptic, and this is why we see them in the morning and at night. And some other interesting shots here. I'll just run through it. Looks to be an object here, here, certainly here, maybe even there. Again, we have this striped appearance up here. But I am noticing that the red is hugging the horizon for a good portion of the day. These things are all over the place. Some black chemtrails here. It's really getting tough for them to hide now. And the same airport, but we're looking to the southwest now. And that tower was not in the last picture, so this is further west. And we have that. And the last direction available to us would be looking west at the same time. Sure enough, we have multiple light sources in the west. Remember, we started in the north. We've seen light sources in every direction. Very interesting. And the last direction available to us would be looking west at the same time. Sure enough, we have multiple light sources in the west. Remember, we started in the north. We've seen light sources in every direction. Very interesting. This is Teller looking west. This is at 10:47 a.m. in the morning. Looking west. When we run the gamma, this is what's really back there. A very red sky. So the chemtrails are doing a good job of changing the color of things so that we don't see how red, in fact, they may be. Now I want to draw your attention to some of these smaller objects here, and as we progress in the frames, you're going to see these objects in the blue sky. right there. And I'll show you what they look like. They're kind of small and far away, but that's what they look like. Well, I just wanted to show you something that I thought was very strange, and it's this. I don't even know if it's a cloud. It might be like a plasma discharge of some sort. This is, these are all like circles, some type of a squiggly, if you will. Or a bunch of portals, or who knows? I don't know. But that is like very weird. So yeah, we did have, so we had like these 3 or 4 different light sources, and very soon after had this and some of these, which made me wonder if they were somehow possibly plasma, or something along the discharge, electrical connecting, smoking, meteorish, who knows, like, because this sort of thing, I mean, this is the kind of thing that we see when we see a meteor. I mean, that could be what this is. It could be smoke coming off of a meteor. Who knows? Very, very interesting nonetheless. If anybody knows, let me know. Thanks everyone for watching. We are looking at Christocina southeast, and you can tell that the sun has risen. It's quite bright. Here you can really see that the sun has already come up. Then suddenly we have this, and then that. I did a bit of a gamma on that, and it's quite anomalous. Thought it was worthy of sharing. We're at Valdez, looking to the southwest. It's 3:15 in the afternoon, Thursday, November 3rd. And we can see this object here. And then we've also got some brightness down there. It's a different color. A little gamma on it. Clearly it's its own object right there. Very yellow, some red down here. I'm going to just run through a few more pictures. You can see that round object here clearly is moving, retains its shape, and then gets extremely bright. Did a bit of a gamma on that, and it's quite anomalous. Thought it was worthy of sharing. We're at Valdez, looking to the southwest. It's 3:15 in the afternoon, Thursday, November 3rd. And we can see this object here. And then we've also got some brightness down there. It's a different color. With a little gamma on it. Clearly it's its own object right there. Southeast, and you can tell that the sun has risen. It's quite bright. Here you can really see that the sun has already come up. Then suddenly we have this, and then that. Very yellow, some red down here.